Happy Monday, everybody. Donnie Baker here with you, LPR Sound Foundation. Glad to be here. Hey, this is August. It is podcast month. We are talking about podcast on a podcast. Woo, we getting deep. Gonna get meta. So, no. Hey, today, this is podcast month, and this week I want to talk about the pros and cons or the differences between whether you should do a audio-only podcast or a video podcast. That's it. I'm going to keep it real short and sweet today. We don't need to dive too deep. We are going to talk about equipment on another segment in a couple of weeks. We're going to dive into talking about the mics and the cameras and the lights and everything else that we use to create a video podcast or even simply an audio podcast. So, in order to get an audio podcast, all you really need is your phone. Yes, I said your phone. You can just talk into your phone, record a note into the note recording, the voice recording app on your iPhone. There you go. Then you should bring it into a DAW of sorts, a free one like Audacity. You could edit it up if you need to, add some music to it if you want to. Then you got to have a place to post it, like iTunes, or there are services that post it everywhere. Like we actually use a service that posts the audio version of our podcast everywhere. We're going to talk about that in a second as well. Video. You could actually do a video podcast with your phone. Your phone's got a great camera. Set it up on a thing right on, in front of you and talk, and you still have to have a way to get your audio in. But again, there are free video editing software such as DaVinci Resolve is free, and it's amazing. The audio, I actually use DaVinci Resolve to edit this video podcast mainly because the audio version of it, the audio portion of it is Fairlight. And you've got access to all the cool-ass plugins that you would have I use EQs and compressors, whatever, if I need to. If we're doing a musical segment on the podcast, we can actually add delays and reverbs. There's all kind of cool stuff in DaVinci Resolve as far as the audio portion of it goes. And you got to dive in, but it's easy. It's simple. YouTube is your friend on that one. I tell you what, I am not a video editor, as you guys can tell. I actually try not to edit these videos. I don't like when they get the jump cuts and you cut out the ums and the uhs. Y'all know me, man. I got the ums and the uhs going on. I'm a professional with the ums and the uhs. Or if I say a word that somebody might not like me saying, I do cut that out. I do have a regulatory commission that checks my work before I get to send it out. And you guys that are married, you know. That's what it is. All right. We're gonna stop there. So, audio versus video. So, hey, listen. What I actually do is I record the video portion of it because I sometimes want to show graphics, or I might want to show a picture or something, or you guys just like looking at me, Or let's say that you don't like being looked at. Man, there are different ways to do video podcasts where you don't have to show your face on camera. I actually don't mind because I don't really care if y'all don't like the way I look. Move on. Go to the other guy. I'm not for you. So I'm not trying to be pretty. I'm not trying to look good. I ain't trying to be something I ain't. So I'm not trying to be something I'm not, as my wife would want me to say it. But so when I first started, if you guys want to laugh, if you guys want something funny, first of all, subscribe. Go down there and hit that subscribe button. But go to my channel and look at some of my first videos. Man, they are horrible. I mean, just really bad. Like I had this Home Depot light behind my head, and oh man, it was funny. It's funny to go back and look at that stuff now. I mean, now I got kind of a cool thing. I got a nice camera. We got some lights over there and a light right there, and the background. I got a candle burning, man. I got my Bass Pro Shop hat sitting there for my redneck friends, but it's all good, man. It's it's funny. But if you want to laugh at something, man, you want to laugh at somebody doing something stupid, go look at some of my first videos, man. It was really bad. But hopefully y'all are getting something out of these videos now, and that's why I do these, man, is I want to share my knowledge and experience with you so you can go on and do some. do some things that you might not even thought you could do, like podcasting, video podcasting. You want to offer video podcasting in your studio. It might not even be your we're not talking about your podcast, although we could be. You know, if you got something that you want to talk about, something you think somebody might be interested in listening to, we're going to talk about that. Not next week, but the week after, September 2nd. We're going to talk about that, what you should do on your podcast, which is going to be awesome. I must say that I've actually consulted with a couple of my clients I've consulted with, and now they're doing their podcast, and they're actually doing quite well. And they're helping people, and that's what it's all about, man, is serving people who need to be helped and need to know your knowledge and experience. So that's why you should do a podcast. But if you've got a studio, or you're an audio engineer, you're working out of your bedroom even. We just did a podcast, and the guy had a portable Zoom recorder. We were literally at a Waffle House and had the microphones on the table. We're having coffee at Waffle House, had headphones and microphones. Interviewed me for a podcast in a Waffle House in the central Tennessee. It was awesome. I mean, where else can you do that? You know, well, if you don't have a Waffle House, I guess you can't do it. But man, it was pretty cool. I mean, I've done podcasts outdoors on the patio here at the studio. The person that we did the podcast for wanted to smoke, and we don't let people smoke in the studio. So we went out and did the podcast outside so they could smoke. So boom. Look, it doesn't really matter. You know, you can do it, like I said, you can do it on your phone. I told you guys last week talking about this. We have one client, and the guy would record his podcast, his audio podcast, on his iPhone while he was stuck in traffic on the 405 going to work. You know, and it was like a motivational kind of 5 minute, 10 minute. It was, I think all the episodes were less than 10 minutes, generally around 5 or 6 minutes. But we would do the edits, and we'd clean up the audio a little bit, make his voice come out a little bit more by adding some EQ and compression, getting rid of some of that traffic noise. But the traffic noise was part of the podcast, and we left that in because that was kind of unique and part of the deal, you know. So it worked out. It definitely worked out for that guy. He's popular. He's got a great following. He's written maybe we'll talk about that guy when we talk about producing your own podcast, just to give you some ideas about what you could talk about. You know, video, you get into video podcasting, you're going to need some extra equipment. You know, audio podcast you can do on your phone. If you want to get fancy, you can get a microphone and an audio interface, record to your DAW, your favorite DAW in your computer. You don't have to have that, though. You can do it all on your phone. You could edit on your phone. You could upload it to Spotify right from your phone. Upload it to wherever you're putting podcasts right from your phone. You don't have to have that. If you got a message you want to get out, get it out. That's all we're talking about. So minimal, your iPhone, you're ready to go. You want to get a little bit crazier, get some cameras. We did a podcast. We actually recorded a podcast yesterday here in the studio, and the podcast person had a guest. So now we got to have multiple camera angles. You know, we got to have one camera angle for one guy, one camera angle for the other person, and then another camera for the wide shot. You know, and then of course now you're going to be adding more lights. You got to add a microphone to the mix, another microphone to the mix, another set of headphones. This podcast technically has a producer, so the producer has a mic, the producer has headphones, so he kind of interjects some stuff and talks sometimes, and it's a cool gig, man. It's awesome. But the point is that you build it. You could start recording with, if you're an audio engineer and you've got your laptop and you got your Focusrite 2i2 and you got two microphones or even one microphone and a set of headphones, you, my friend, can offer podcasting to clients. You can charge them $25 an hour to come in, record their podcast. You can edit their podcast, send them on their way, collect the money, boom. If you didn't have any musical clients for the day, it's a perfect gig. Because now you got a podcast client. You start adding video into the mix, you can actually charge more money. So add a couple of cameras, a couple of lights. Now you're talking $100-$150 an hour. You can run it. We're gonna show the first week of next month is studio tour month. We're going to be touring all the studios. The first week of Studio Tour Month, we're going to tour this system, my podcast system. I'm going to show you my cameras. I'm going to show you my lights. I'm going to show you my audio devices. I've got a couple of them over here. We actually have 2 full systems. We've got, I think we've got 8 cameras total. So we can actually do more than one podcast at the same time. We've just built it up over time, and it's turned into this thing that we're actually doing okay. Making a little money that we would not normally make had we not been offering podcasting. So my point is, you should be offering podcasting in your studio to your clients. In 2 weeks, we're going to talk about you doing your own podcast because you have something you know something. You have experienced something. You have knowledge of something that someone else needs to know about. And you can offer it. Just do it. It doesn't cost anything to do it. You post it. You might get a new client from the gig. I was actually talking about that. I was a guest on someone else's podcast. From that, 2 people called me and said, dude, I want to work with you. And I'm still working with them. This is multiple times people have been coming to my studio as my clients now because they saw me on somebody else's podcast, me talking about something on somebody else's podcast. And in their head, they're like, I want to work with this guy. I love this guy. He's doing what I want to do. So I'm just saying that happens. So we'll talk about that in 2 weeks. We're going to talk about producing your own podcast. Next week, we're going to talk about live streaming versus podcasting, which we do that here too. So we have one client that live streams, and I'm going to share with you how we do that and how we get that done. So video podcast or audio podcast, or how about both together? I do this. This is a video. I consider it a podcast. I've got the little thing right there that says podcast. I know you guys see it. So when you do a video podcast, you can also do an audio podcast. I do both. I upload this to YouTube and send out an email to my list. We'll talk about email lists on another gig, but on another day. But and how important that is for your business as an audio engineer. Yes, we'll talk about that for sure. But I send an email out to everybody going, hey, my podcast is up. Go look at it. It's awesome. I think you'll like it. But I also do an audio podcast because I do have some listeners that want to listen to what I have to say while they're driving the car, while they're in traffic, sitting on the 405 or whatever, going to work. So there is that. So I do both. And I'll have to mention that, I have to say the words where I want to send them to get whatever free thing I'm giving or whatever thing. I might want them to download a PDF, or I might be giving them a free plugin or something. But I'll have to say, hey, go to learnprorecording.com/podcast. Get your free guide to starting your podcast. I have to say that. And I'll also add it as a graphic. Today I got to do it in post because I forgot to make the thing, but that's fine. So I have to say it. Go to learnprorecording.com/podcast. Get your free PDF on starting your own podcast, your guide to starting podcast as a business in your studio. And people will go there, and hopefully I'm helping somebody learn that they can do a podcast in their studio and they're ready to go. And just gives you another income stream that you can be making your money. Quit the day job. Come on. Not yet. Not if you're not ready. So when you're ready, quit the day job. Do this full time and you'll just grow and grow and grow and grow. And this is awesome. I've not worked a day in the last 27 years. I've not worked a day in the last 27 years. And yet I pay my bills and I have just a great time at work. I enjoy working with everybody that I work. All the people that come here are amazing. Some of the artists that we work with have gone on to do great things. They're you know who they are. You've heard the songs. Shit, I was at Pavilions shopping. Don't get me started on the price of ground beef right now either. Let's not even talk about that. But I was at the Pavilions and there's a song playing over the Muzak speakers that I recorded, that I mixed, and I'm like, that's my mix. That's my song. I made this. And other people are in the grocery store and some people are singing the song. There is no better feeling than that, and you should do that. Definitely do that. Let's try to move you into doing this full time. So let's start by going to learnprorecording.com/podcast. Get that free thing and get the free PDF on the guide on how starting your podcast, or offering podcasts to your clients. And let's get this started. If you want more information about what I do here at Learn Pro Recording, there's my email. Shoot me an email. Ask me a question. I am here for you. Anything you need to know. If you need help with, you might need some help with building a patch bay, designing a patch bay for your studio. I can help you with that. I also offer free coaching. So there's a free coaching package. I hang out with you for an hour, help you do whatever it is you need to get done. I didn't know if everybody knew about that, but I'll put a link to it right here as well. I'll put a link to it right here. So you guys can go get that. It's free. Come on over. I'll help you out with whatever it is you need help with, whether it's podcasting, what kind of speakers to put in, what kind of mic to buy, whatever, man. I'm here to help. I'm here to help you quit your damn day job. That's what we do. So I'm gonna get up out of here, man. We're gonna do the blog post this week is pretty cool. It's already done. It's already scheduled to go out on Wednesday. Thursday, come over to the Thursday Live. If you guys have not discovered the Thursday Live, I stream live every Thursday. It's generally in the afternoon, about 1:15, right around lunchtime. Sometimes I got to do it in the morning because might have sessions or whatever. But I try to do it either at 1:15 or at 6:15 in the evening. So come over live. Get on my list. Get the free thing today. The learnprorecording.com/podcast. Get that, and then you'll get on my list, and you get an email about when we're going to go live on Thursdays. So Thursday Live is just pretty much ask anything about anything. If you got questions about how to do something, you got questions about a thing in Pro Tools, you got a question about a thing in Logic, I'm your guy. So come on over. Let me help you out with whatever you got going on in your studio. I want to see you grow. I want to see you build. I want to see you get big and huge and start making more money. Start making money that you can actually quit your day job. And that's the whole point, man. Let's stop working for a living and start doing something that you love to do, which is making music. I'm in the business of making music, and I'm here to help you grow, here to help you learn how to do it. So again, my name is Donnie Baker, and I am going to get up out of here. We will see you guys. We'll see you on Thursday Live, and then we'll see you next Monday. Next Monday's gonna be awesome. We're gonna talk about live streaming and how that gets done, and why, and when, and who, and all kind of cool stuff. Live streaming's cool, man. It's kind of nerve-wracking sometimes, but yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. You get in there and people start interacting, and it's a lot of fun. So we're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna talk about what kind of tools to use for live streaming and that kind of thing. But yeah, we're gonna get on that, and have a great week. Go forth, do some cool stuff. Don't let Monday hurt you. It's cool. Mondays are great. It's like a reset, man. You get to start over every week. You get to start, this week I'm gonna do this. This week I'm gonna do this. Yes, Monday's the day. So let's do it. Go get it. Go get it. Go do it. Get it done. We'll talk to you next time. My name is Donnie B. I'm out.